So, Aaron Fish is the co-founder of Wanderwell, and he's joining me from Portland today, and we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about travel insurance, everyone's favorite topic.
I mentioned it to someone the other day, and they're like, "Can you please not bore us with insurance talk?" I'm like, "I know how you feel. I do."
Excellent. Well, I think that's a good challenge to accept. We are not going to bore everyone today. In fact, we're going to share some important insights about travel insurance, which may not be people's favorite topic, but it's a really important one. And I know myself, I'm the co-founder of YouLi, which is a travel planning, booking, and management solution for group travel companies. And my background is in as a traveler, not a travel planner. So I used to never buy travel insurance. I was very like, just go and see what happens. And I've learned over the years, the more I travel, the more important it is. And then I've also learned how important your selection of a travel insurance company is on a personal level. And I've also come to understand how travel planners, people actually selling travel, really need to encourage their travelers to purchase it. So we are here to talk to Aaron about why you as a travel planner might want to recommend travel insurance to your travelers in general, and then specifically why Wanderwell.
Thank you very much, Jen. Not only for having me join you today, but also just for years of partnership and trust.
Let's do some
Oh, there it
confetti.
is. There it is, confetti.
So what are the benefits of recommending travel insurance in general? Like why is this an important thing for travel planners to consider?
We're finding a cascade of companies coming in a bigger rush than it used to be. It's almost like the glaciers are melting as springtime comes, and like the rivers are starting to rush, and so we've been asking that question, and there are a lot of travel companies, planners of travel, who are answering us and just saying, I I need to take care of my customers, my clients. And at the same time, I need to take care of my company. And doing both can take care of a lot of peace of mind. So it's not just peace of mind for the traveling guest, but also for that company and their staff and being a business owner. Um, and there are a lot of solutions. We want to provide the best solution and service possible.
Yeah, and so if you're a travel planner and maybe you're a little bit reluctant of making a specific recommendation, what's the difference between recommending a company versus recommending a particular policy or type of coverage?
Interesting. I think a lot of it has to do with trust. And the trust doesn't necessarily come from the policy. Policies are changing all the time. What is the company that you trust to be guiding your guests as a travel planner or advisor? You have your unique ability, and it likely isn't in insurance. If it is, maybe you're licensed to sell insurance, right? So we want to help by doing what we do best, and that is guiding your guests with regards to the insurance, specifically to their trip, while allowing you to do what you do best to guide them towards their travel planning. The more fun part of it, anyway.
So that's why it's really important that travel planners recommend a company and not specifics, because as a travel planner, you're not a travel insurance expert, generally speaking. And so you don't want to give advice. You just want to suggest, why don't you speak to the people who can give you proper advice, who are licensed to give that kind of advice and recommend a particular policy. Whether it's required or recommended, you don't specify the particulars.
And it kind of goes back to what your initial point on this question was. Um, that's that's not necessarily what a travel planner may be up to date with. And it's really important in insurance because it's primarily a regulated program or product or industry that compliance is paramount. If a travel planner who isn't licensed to guide a guest with regards to travel insurance, then they could be held liable and exposed. And that's why recommending a company or companies can be really important.
Mm.
In fact, we have a lot of affiliate partners who don't only recommend Wanderwell, and we don't require exclusivity. We just want an affiliate partner to say when they mention Wanderwell, this is why. We partner with Wanderwell because of values alignment. We partner with Wanderwell because of um, a very personable approach to support and claims advocacy.
Absolutely. And so, yeah, and I think that's one of the important things. That's one of the reasons why we like to partner with Wonderwell and recommend you. So, for those of you using the YouLi platform, if you've just signed up, when you create a trip, it'll automatically include a task that says, book your travel insurance with Wonderwell. You're welcome to use that. You're welcome to remove it and recommend a different one. And we actually encourage you to go a step further and reach out to Wanderwell and become an affiliate so that you get the benefit of making that recommendation. And so if you get the benefit of recommending Wanderwell, it means that not only do you get that peace of mind that your traveler actually has the coverage that they need because they got the right recommendations for a policy, but you can also earn a commission. So do you want to share a little bit more about how commissions work when recommending travel insurance?
Yeah, so there's actually this national regulation in a way. It's not federal, like it wasn't a federal government piece of legislation, but there were a bunch of states that came together to agree to try to find some uniformity in travel insurance. And part of that is in allowing sellers, planners, advisors of travel to recommend travel insurance companies to their guests and then legally be compensated. Essentially, what they're doing is they are offering coverage or access to coverage under our license. So we have our license we can sell to residents of each state in Washington, D.C. And then there are a few states in there that if your guest is coming from that state, you're not necessarily can't be compensated. And then most of them, almost all of them, you can. So yeah, we have affiliate partners. They're guests by many, many thousands a year, and that can lead to thousands and thousands of dollars in referral fees and compensation. And it's awesome. We always kind of get a kick out of it. Go like, look at this. Look how much
Yeah.
we actually were able to pay out in compensation in referral fees this month. This is phenomenal, and it helps to build relationships too.
Yeah, and so obviously that's a huge advantage for a new travel planner if you're just trying to figure out how to launch your retreats or your tours and you're looking to make sure that you're actually making these profitable. One of the ways that you can help with that is to recommend travel insurance and have that as a source of affiliate revenue. So
Mhm.
we're not giving specifics here on commissions because, as Aaron said, it all depends on a lot of different factors. So that's why we recommend go wanderwell.com. The link is in our support documentation and book in a session with the Wanderwell team, and they will walk that through with you and figure out what commission rates you guys qualify for. So super easy. They're really fun to talk to. Aaron's amazing, and so is his entire team. So it's an easy call and an easy source of revenue. And so there's not really a downside to this, right? Because you get to make that commission, you get your travelers to actually get the protection that they need. But ultimately it's their choice, right? You're not forcing them. It's not a sort of underhanded thing in any way. There's nothing dodgy happening here. It's literally just we recommend this. These guys are amazing. They're going to give you the service that you expect. And so especially if you're a very service-minded travel planner, it's really important that the travel insurance company you recommend also reflects that there's someone that they can actually call and have a conversation with, or that you can have a conversation with if you're having trouble with something that has happened with one of your travelers. So
Mhm.
I think that was one of the reasons why we really felt strongly about recommending Wanderwell over some of the other larger US players is because of that, because we value service and we know that you value service as well. So if you want to share any more insights on that aspect, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I'd love to. A few things. So there, a lot of it is this essence of like peace of mind, right? Or there's a heavier term that I really like sometimes it doesn't land as well, but duty of care. And actually, I learned that from travel planners. A lot of travel planners will say, we want to provide an option for reliable travel insurance because we want to provide a duty of care to our guests. Like, wow, I kind of like that. Yeah, that shows that you are taking an accountability. To me, it shows that you're taking accountability for the for your guests and their well-being. Now, I think that there are some other parts of this experience. So, first of all, someone asked me yesterday, what are the trends you're seeing in insurance, in travel insurance, or insurance related to travel? I'm like, oh, glad you put it that way, because one of the biggest trends I'm seeing and that we're seeing in general is that our current affiliate partners and new people who are coming to us to inquire about our affiliate program are asking us about the appropriate professional liability coverage for their company. And sometimes, so we decided to actually say, share with us what you have. And we hired we kind of partnered with a big insurance company to say, look at all this. Like, these are 10 different companies and they have like 7 different types of coverage amongst the 10 companies. And maybe one of them looks like it's designed for travel companies. Like, why does this one have why are they for like an unverified service type of company? One company said, yeah, ours looks like it has it's for an architecture firm. Well, why are you in a policy like that? So something I can say is we take a good look at your professional liability policy, because it is there and designed to also cover you for if you have the right policy, like a policy for tour operators and travel agencies, which there are very few companies do that, then you might be in a better spot because you should be covered for things like bodily injury, personal injury, property damage, um, it's errors and omissions, really, right? Yeah, so if there's internet liability, if something that happens because of your company that causes your guests to have a financial loss. There's even endorsements. And by the way, there's a specific endorsement that you should be able to have if you have the right policy, which is the buyback of travel insurance. So it basically takes away the exclusion that's in the standard policy. If you're recommending travel insurance and you get named in the claim, like this could help also give your company some peace of mind. So there's a lot of questions to ask. And what you can ask your agent, you can ask us, because we're starting to work with this large company to offer that as well. A little bit of a
So
non sequitur. I think
that's insurance for the travel planners themselves,
the
right?
company,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Because and that's actually a really important distinction, right? So travel insurance that we started talking about is for the travelers, but there's also the liability insurance for the travel planner companies themselves. And those are independent but related, obviously. And so it's all about
yeah,
providing that protection. And so you're saying that you can actually recommend to travel planners insurance for their own companies. Is that right?
yeah. And right now, both from the travel insurance perspective, and I'll come back to that in a moment, and also for professional liability for your company as a travel agency or a tour operator, or a planner of travel. Uh, it's for U.S. residents only. We're actually expanding our program on the travel insurance side. So we'll be able to offer very soon plans to um, residents of other countries, most likely starting with Canada. Uh,
Hmm.
Now, travel insurance, you're right, it's for the traveler, and not necessarily to cover the travel company. And that is a big distinction. So know that if you are a planner, a traveler, or an advisor, having your travelers purchase travel insurance doesn't take away your own accountability. Travel insurance is designed at its core to reimburse you for an unforeseen event that is listed as covered in the policy, whether that's for canceling your trip, or trip interruption, delays, baggage, and personal effects. And what seems to be, of primary importance to most people when they call in, next to also the investment of the trip, is travel medical.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, that's such an important one, especially depending on which country you're traveling to, depending on how their medical systems work. And that's one of the key reasons why I started buying travel insurance as a traveler, is just starting to understand how significant that is and having that protection, how, and so, knock
Mm.
on wood, haven't had to use it yet. So, but it's always nice to know that it's there in case something does go wrong. Because I do adventurous things, like I'm going, diving with sharks coming up. So I'm gonna have to get a special kind of
Oh my
policy for
goodness.
that one. Oh my goodness. And so yeah,
I
so
just
what
got the
kind of
chills.
insurance do you need to go swimming with whale sharks? Is that like a next level thing, or is that just kind of included in standard policies?
It depends. We actually have for Wanderwell, we our two plans. So we one thing about us, we don't try to overwhelm you. We're not going to put 40 plans in front of you. We're not an aggregator. These are generally going to be our plans, Wanderwell branded plans, and we have two. And at the very least, they include coverage for recreational and adventure sports. And on our website, you can actually see the definitions and a bunch of list of activities that would be considered recreational and adventure. I believe,
And so, I mean, I think we've kind of covered,
yeah,
all the key things here. I mean, just to kind of summarize from our perspective, as a platform for travel planners, we're always trying to make it so that, you can focus on the things that matter. And so we do the tech side of that. We make sure that the automations and all the documents are in place and the payments are coming in. And also that if you are recommending travel insurance, we make that really easy for you to do and to track. And so we do actually have a task built into the YouLi platform, which is called Wanderwell. And so you can pick that and then you can pop in your affiliate code. So we really recommend you reach out to the Wanderwell folks. Just go to youli.gowanderwell.com, book in a call, get your code, and then just pop it into your travel insurance task in YouLi. And then you can get the peace of mind of knowing that your travelers are taken care of and knowing that you're going to get a little, commission on the side. So, win, win,
and
win.
you'd be working with a values driven company, another one, and that's a big part of what we do. You know that about us. And we're a certified B Corp. We were the first, I believe, travel insurance. Maybe we're the only one in the United States as of this writing. Um,
Ooh,
but we want more to come out. It's not like
yeah,
we just we want to always be the only one. We want to see the insurance industry change in that way too, and try to
yeah.
be more accountable. And we support 1% for the Planet, the Adventure Travel Trade Association, Tourism Cares, and the Transformational Travel Council. There's a lot of people doing really good work uh, for regenerative, sustainable travel and trying to use travel as a force for good. So we're happy to be part of that with you, with YouLi, and happy to be part of it with any and all of YouLi partners.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Yeah,
Really appreciate chatting today and really excited
yeah. Thank you,
to
Jen.
see as you guys continue to expand your policies and look forward to doing further integrations in the future with you. We're looking at in-path experiences as well. So stay tuned. We'll do another session when we roll out that new capability.
I appreciate you, Jen. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.